Yesterday, Bitcoin broke down of this triangle and we saw a little bit of a bearish move, but later we saw that the price of Bitcoin was surging upwards again. And this was all happening because some very bullish news that came into the market, which I will discuss with you in this video. I will have a look at several Bitcoin charts with you today in this video for this market update. And also later in the video I will have a look at the two altcoins Vechain and Solana, which are very interesting to see right now. There's also a lot of bullish news coming in for the Bitcoin and the Ethereum ETFs, and we also have a lot of other bullish news which I will discuss with you later in the video. So please slap on that like button, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel because it will be highly appreciated by me. And now let's dive right into the charts. So in my video of yesterday I was discussing this huge pattern for Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. We saw multiple touch points here on the top side as resistance and on the lower side we saw multiple touch points as support. Finally we broke down out of this symmetrical triangle and we see a little bit of a retest now unfolding. So we could all the way come back to this previous support and maybe test it as resistance again, and from here we could see maybe a little bit of lower targets, and that would mean a bearish retest. So for now we broke down of this symmetrical triangle, so this is looking a little bit more bearish, and also we saw these tops coming in, and now Bitcoin is creating on the 1 hour time frame a lower high. So this could also mean that we're going to see a little bit of a downtrend unfolding. So this could be the little bit of a bearish move, but however later in the video I will tell you exactly what we can expect for Bitcoin in the coming days. Because 2 days ago we saw that GameStop was announcing its update to its investment policy to add Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. So yeah, they're turning very bullish to Bitcoin, and also the CEO of GameStop is a friend of Michael Saylor, and Michael Saylor is reacting to this a step in the right direction. And yesterday we heard the news that GameStop is going to raise $1.3 billion to buy Bitcoin. So this is of course very bullish, and 1.3 billion is a lot of money, and this is just one company. So imagine if other companies are going to follow the exact same strategy, just like Michael Saylor did with the MicroStrategy. And GameStop is now going to buy 1.3 billion in Bitcoin. So of course this will have a very bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin in the coming weeks and months. And another interesting chart for Bitcoin to have a look at is this 4 hour formation. We can see this rising wedge is unfolding. We can see multiple touch points here as resistance on the top side, and on the lower side we can see a lot of touch points as support. Yesterday we fell to this support on the lower side, but we also saw a beautiful bounce to the top side again. So this price squeeze of Bitcoin is coming to an end almost, and let's see what Bitcoin is going to do. Are we going to see a bullish break to the top side, or are we going to see a bearish break to the downside? And of course this rising wedge formation is a typical bearish bias pattern actually, because it tends to break to the downside more often than to the upside. So if we're going to see a break to the top side, that means that Bitcoin is showing a lot of strength and that we can aim for higher prices. But keep in mind that this rising wedge formation is a bearish bias pattern and it tends to break to the downside. And if we're going to see a break to the downside, the lower side of this formation will be confluent with the breakdown target, and it will be around the $77,000. But however, if we're going to see a break to the top side, we can aim for prices above the $90,000. So this is the next make or break point for Bitcoin, and this rising wedge formation is a very interesting formation to look at. So I will keep you guys updated on my Twitter channel, so follow me there for the latest updates. And if we then zoom out to the daily time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is also in this falling, broadening wedge. We can see multiple touch points here on the top side as resistance, and also on the lower side we can see multiple touch points as support. So we discussed this rising wedge for Bitcoin on the 4 hour time frame, just like I did. But now when we zoom out to the daily time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is also in a falling wedge formation. So a falling wedge formation is actually a typical bullish bias pattern, and it is a typical reversal pattern. So it most of the times tends to break to the top side after such a downtrend, and then we retest the previous resistance as support, and then we have to aim for higher prices. And if we're going to see a bullish break out of this falling broadening wedge, then the top side of this formation will be confluent with the breakout target, and that will bring Bitcoin back to the previous all-time high of around the $108,000 or $109,000. So this of course could be the very bullish move for Bitcoin. So if we're going to see a break to the top side, create a new higher high, then we can see the next phase of the bull run start. Because after this bull run and after these all-time highs, we're now seeing a little bit of a decline and a little bit of cooling over of the price. So we could also see a bullish break, and that of course will be very interesting to see. But of course we can also see a big rejection from this resistance area, just like we saw multiple times in the past, and that we're coming back to this lowest head support, and that of course will be very bearish. But that will also bring Bitcoin back to the lower 70,000 region. But for now, I think that Bitcoin is going to see a bullish break eventually, and that we're going to see a huge reversal in the coming weeks. And if we then have a look at the Bitcoin ETFs, we saw another very bullish day yesterday. We can see that BlackRock bought for almost $108 million, and we saw that the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF sold a little bit of their portion. So we saw a total inflow of $89.6 million in total. So this is insane, of course. And we can see that the total cumulative inflow is spiking a little bit to the top side. So let's see if we can create a new all-time high above the $41 billion. And of course, that will bring Bitcoin, I think, right above the $100,000 again. And having a look at the Ethereum ETFs, we can also see a little bit of a negative day again, just like in the last weeks. We saw a total outflow of $5.9 million, and that was eventually because Grayscale is selling a bit, and also Fidelity. So the other ETFs are not quite interested in Ethereum yet, but maybe when the staking goes live on the ETFs, they will buy more Ethereum for their customers. So for now, Ethereum is looking a little bit steady and a little bit slow in the ETF. So if the inflows are coming back up, I think the price of Ethereum will follow as well. And something to discuss in this video is also the CME gap of Bitcoin. So last weekend we saw the Bitcoin CME gap opening at the $84,000 region, and currently we are trading above this level. So we could also see a little bit of a bearish move to close the gap, because the CME gap is still open, and I think eventually this gap will be closed, because 99 out of 100 times the CME gap gets closed. But of course, this could also be that one time that the CME gap doesn't get closed. So keep in mind that this could also happen. But of course, we want to see a bullish continuation of the price. So this could also happen. So let me know in the comments, do you think that Bitcoin is going to close the gap around this level? Or do you think that Bitcoin will just create more bullish price action to the top side, and that we will just leave this gap open? So the first altcoin I want to discuss in this video is Vechain. We can see Vechain was in this huge triangle, and we saw multiple touch points here on the top side as resistance, and also on the low side we can see this upward sloping support trend line. We broke out bullish, we retested this resistance as support, and then we saw a beautiful continuation of the price. So this was actually a very bullish breakout and a bullish retest. So from this level you could have entered the market, and you could have already made a significant trade of around, of around 6% already, and especially when you are leverage trading, you could make very interesting profits. And the top side of this formation will be confluent with the breakout target, and that will bring Vechain all the way back to the 3.5 cents. So of course this could be the very interesting start of the next phase of the bull run for Vechain. And if we have a look at another chart for Vechain, we can also see on the daily time frame that Vechain is currently breaking out of this huge falling channel formation, which is also very bullish, because a falling channel formation is a typical bullish bias pattern which tends to break to the top side. And after we see a break to the top side, we could aim for a big reversal. So this is happening right now, and of course we need to see more strength for Vechain. And the next big resistance, if Vechain is going to see more bullish price action, will be around this level, and it will be above the 4.3 cents. So if Vechain comes back to this next level, this will be the next horizontal resistance to break to become even more bullish. So if Vechain comes back to this level, I'm going to take a little bit of profits, because I think we will see a little bit of a rejection already. And if you're going to measure this trade to the resistance, you can already make a very interesting gain of almost more than 61%. So yeah, of course, this is not financial advice, this is just how I trade. And after we saw a breakout of this formation, I'm going to long the market for Vechain, and I'm going to aim for this next big resistance, because in the past we can see a lot of price interaction around this level. So I don't think that Vechain is going to shoot right through it, because I think we will see a little bit of a rejection first. Then we need some strength again. We want to break this resistance again, of course, to the top side. We want to retest this resistance as support if we're going to break through it, and then we want to see a continuation of the price. So I think we will see something similar like this happening for Vechain in the coming future. And let me know in the comments if you still hold Vechain in your portfolio, and what is your price prediction for Vechain in this bull cycle. And the next interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Solana. We can see that Solana is almost more than 57% down from its previous all-time high, and it was just in a matter of weeks that we saw this huge decline. We also see that this previous all-time high was just being made, and in the 2021 we also saw that Solana was creating a new all-time high, and we can also see that this previous all-time high was looking very strong as resistance. So we came back down. We didn't break the resistance yet because the weekly chart and because on the weekly chart we didn't see any weekly candle close above this previous all-time high. So for now we are seeing a lot of decline for Solana, and in the past we can also see this horizontal resistance level unfolding. We can see multiple touch points here in the past as resistance and support. So this was a very interesting place to buy more Solana, just like I did. And I've warned you guys about this on my Twitter channel. So from this green box of accumulation, you could have entered the market, and if we're going to measure this from this green box of accumulation to the previous all-time high, you can already make a very interesting profit of more than 136%. And that is of course if Solana is going to create a new all-time high. But I think that Solana is looking very bullish, and eventually we will set a new all-time high in this coming cycle, of course. And if we then have a look at another chart, and if we zoom into the 4-hour time frame, we can see this huge decline for Solana is unfolding. We see a lot of lower lows and lower highs, so this is actually very bearish trend. But however, we are now seeing a little bit of a trend shift. We are creating a higher high and a higher low for the Solana on the 4-hour time frame. So this could also mean that we're going to see a reversal for Solana, and that we're going to eventually create higher highs and higher lows. So this of course will be a bullish trend shift for Solana, but keep in mind that we are still at the bottom of this trend. So eventually buying at this region is very profitable, I think, in the long term, because eventually we will see prices of above the $300 in my opinion. So of course, again, this is not financial advice, so always do your own research, and let me know in the comments, do you hold Solana in your portfolio, and what is your price prediction for Solana in the coming bull cycle? So again, please like the video if you think it was useful, and don't forget to follow me on my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on my Twitter channel, where I post a lot of interesting news about Bitcoin, altcoins, and of course also meme coins. So you can follow me there to never miss anything about the crypto market. And with that being said, I hope you liked this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.